Okay, so I've been messing around with my mic settings, so hopefully this is actually a little bit better. And first battle of today, low friendly skeletons, oh yes. So you might be thinking, double vampire counts, how sweaty are you? Well, look, I'm using skeletons. When was the last time you ever saw Heinrich Kemmler with a skeleton army? I've never seen it before, so I thought, you know what, I've never seen it, I'll just use it. And it actually worked really well, especially considering what I'm playing against. I mean, look at these, I mean, Cygos, Minotaurs, Bestios, Ungos, I forget what his name is, and Empire. I mean, this army, for what I'm playing against, is super risky, and I mean, if you're playing as a vampire counts, no one in the right mind uses Kemmler. The only thing is, Kemmler's awesome, and for some reason he is like a foot taller than his grave god, which is kind of bizarre, but whatever. So essentially, the strategy of the battle was, or at least from my point of view, after seeing the Beastmen flank, I was like, okay, I know what I have to do. These guys are going to rip through my army, so essentially, grind out fight. Oh, and before I even get there, I have a Cygo just beating the shit out of the skeletons. I mean, these things pretty much... The fact that these didn't disintegrate is just an absolute miracle. I mean, this Cygo is going to get, I think, in 2 rocks, 50 kills. Yep, 50 kills. So, strategy-wise, essentially just get my Black Knights around because, I mean, they're pretty heavy melee cavalry, but they're not amazing. I mean, these guys are really good at chasing down skirmishers because they have such high speed for, you know, for cavalry, essentially. Unless using skirmisher cav. The only guys that are really better than these are probably Mounted Yeomanry or Knights of the Realm or something. I mean, I would pick these guys over Empire Knights because Empire Knights are so slow in their shock variant, where these are just kind of melee cavalry. So, as you can see, I've actually split my main forces in half. I have the Grave Guard, the more elite troops. I only have 4, which is kind of blasphemy if you're going to go for good, kind of, you know, hammer and anvil type vampire counts army. But it's you'll see why I brought such a small kind of heavy contingent of infantry, and I'm keeping Kemmler here because I need to keep these guys alive for as long as possible. Which it turns out that, to be honest, I didn't even need Kemmler. These guys are pretty much going to be unscathed. Whereas these guys are just going to get grounded to shit. But I want this to happen because I want these guys as far away from this mainline engagement as humanly possible. So I thought, look, if I bring my entire main meat shield army, there's no way he's going to ignore it, and he's going to have to bring and commit a ton of troops to just grind this through. These aren't going to do any damage. They get maybe 10 kills between them, but they last pretty much the entire game, and that's what I needed them to do. So as you can see, both me and MT are just flanking around because we need rid of these, and these Black Knights are perfect for skirmishers. Not great against Beastigos, not great against even Ungo Spearmen, to be honest, but against what we need them to do, they're going to do amazing. And of course I've got a Lich, White King. I call him a Lich King, it's just I don't know why he looks white. What's a white exactly, I don't understand. To me it looks like a Lich, but unfortunately I was busy microing over here, so these guys are going to get caught on the halberdiers. This is why I was actually laggy from the spells. I need to really do something about that. And yeah, so strategy wise it was sound, I just didn't execute it because I was busy microing, but I am eventually going to realise what's going on. I'm going to pull away, and then I'm going to eventually just end up killing all of the skirmishers. Wow, that's way too much lag, I do not understand why. But as you can see over here, I just grind out fight. These guys are just constantly going to be around and getting smashed, and that's so laggy. Yeah, it's actually fixing itself now. I don't know if it's because my computer was like getting a bit hot or something, but should be able to run it considering I'm on a 3 gig cord. Right, as you can see, I'm just going to pull my cavalry up because they're just getting smashed. And over here, this is why I need to keep these guys as far away from each other as humanly possible, because I'm just going to absolutely decimate his lines. The thing is, this skeleton army actually catches a lot of people off guard, because if you think vampire counts, you think crypt horrors, you think Vargas, you think Manfred on a zombie dragon, which is what I'm pretty sure MT did bring a zombie dragon. But the fact that I went for just like sheer infantry, it's halberdiers are just going to get absolutely destroyed. So I caught my opponent off guard. Cygo is going to do a lot of damage, but I mean, he got 50 kills at the start. Now he only has 75, so he hasn't really been doing too well. And he's been killing, you know, mostly like skeletons and stuff. So basically, and also the fact, you know, Heinrich Kemmler is actually surprisingly good, especially if you give him his legendary sword, because when you have him in combat, he's just constantly replenishing everyone. So it's basically just free invocation to the heck. It's not great, but it makes him somewhat good in melee against little kind of, you know, the more kind of cost effective, shall we say, infantry. So he can hold his own and he replenishes everyone. That's why these Grave Guard are going to be pretty much fine. Whereas, you know, these guys are just getting grounded out. Although my cavalry has been wiping out and just taking the piss out of his crossbows and his bowmen, but they're not going to do very well. I came in for a rear charge just to try and push the battle in my favour, but surprisingly, they've actually managed to win. I mean, he had like 4 or 5 Beastie-Goers. I mean, he has one there and there's one there, but you know, he had a good line of Beastie-Goers versus Beach Shields. I didn't expect these guys to win. I just wanted them to keep his army here for as long as possible, so me and MT could just wrap up the Empire play, which is exactly what we've done. We've just, I mean, he's got resistance, yeah, but they're not going to be able to do anything, and the fact that we've managed to route their side go as well is going to be highly advantageous for us. So essentially now it's just how fast can we destroy his routing troops. I mean, it's not going to take much considering every single one of our units cast sphere, so. And then Franz is on his last legs. He's done a lot of kills, but he's been killing, you know, zombies and stuff, so. Whereas, you know, MT has these cairn raids and stuff, so it's really, you know, it's not going to go very well for my opponents. And again, you know, these BCOs, they've got a ton of kills, but they killed a bunch of skeleton spears and just skeletons in general, so the fact that I managed to take the more elite infantry and basically trade them with my squishy, meat shieldy, crappy infantry is obviously was a huge trade for me, which is, you know, it's great value, I suppose, and well, it's basically what won with the fight, I would say. I mean, the fact that he couldn't get his Beastie-Goers to go toe-to-toe with my Grave Guard, which obviously would have won, the Beastie-Goers would have tore them to pieces. It just made it so much easier for me and MT just to kind of isolate the Empire, destroy the Empire, and then as soon as the Empire player's gone, it's just going to be a matter of time before the Beastie-Goers just go and the rest of the troops, so. I mean, it definitely helps that he brought Blood Knights as well, in case he brought Minotaurs and stuff. But he went, you know, I'm actually a big fan of the whole Beastie-Go kind of rush. I'm not a huge fan of Minotaurs because they're just, everyone expects them. And even basic cost-effective spearmen, like, I mean, even Ungo spears, you know, you have halberdiers, which aren't that expensive. You know, just, I don't know. For some reason, I prefer to bring infantry over monsters because I just find them easier to use, and because I went pretty much, well, all infantry other than the cost-effective, kind of just cheap but really good Black Knights, it just kind of caught them off guard. And you see, I mean, these guys got an absolute ton of kills. Even the Ungo Raiders got a lot of kills, but I mean, they killed these. And as you can see, I mean, Blood Knights did amazing. The Lancers and Bod did amazing, and I mean, it's kind of a weird army. I mean, no Luminarch of Hish, which, I mean, if he had a Luminarch of Hish, I would have been dead, like, instantly, so. Yeah, it was just a pretty fun battle out. I just played like 10 minutes ago or something. Never really used skeleton. I don't really use vampire counts that often, but every time I use vampire counts, I pretty much always bring Heinrich Kemmler, just because I don't really feel bad about bringing vampire counts if I bring Heinrich, because he has nothing special. He has no mount. And if you go across, you know, Beastmen and Empire, I mean, Luminarch of Hish beats that. You have the, you know, if he managed to get his Beastie-Goers into my Grave Guard, this army would have been pretty much done. I mean, I've got a White King, fair enough, but he's got, if the entire army's done, he's done. So yeah, I guess it was just I executed my game plan and MT executed his, and it was just, you know, I mean, you know, too much infantry, I suppose, and the Empire City should have brought an Illuminaga Hish. It would have made our job significantly harder to do. So this was just a, I don't know, just a quick, low friendly / gimmick army build. So laters.